After 12 years of mediation, the Asante-Hene-led group of eminent chiefs now have a roadmap towards organization of final funeral rites of the late Yana Muhammadu Abdullahi and Yakubu Andani, as well as selection and enskinment of new Yana.
There are 4 recognized elders who have to sit in seclusion, and then they would have to do their oracles to choose a new Yana. And that starts from the very Friday that the funeral of Na Yakubu Andani finishes.
However, government is pledging neutrality in the enskinment of the new Yana.
I am not a Dagomba, and I therefore cannot be an Andani or Abudu. I have no candidate for the office of Yana. That is a matter for the people of Dagomba. I am just an ordinary Ghanaian who wants to see the peace, progress, and prosperity of all parts of our beautiful country.
Will this mark the end of hostilities between Andanis and Abudus and promote permanent peace? We'll explore this subject. Also on Top Story, minority fumes over government's decision to increase the number of presidential staffers from 998 to 1,614. All that and more here on Top Story, brought to you by Bond Savings and Loans. Your success, our passion. Gasam Cements, the nation builder. Vodafone, the future is exciting. Ready? And Nationwide Medical Health Insurance, your healthcare family. And after years of uncertainty, mistrust, feet dragging, and pessimism, the Asante-Hene-led group of eminent chiefs has opened the way for the organization of the final funeral rites for 2 late chiefs in Dagbon traditional area, whose demise continues to fuel conflict among brothers from the same father. After 12 years of deliberations, the 2 gates agreed to hold separate funerals for the 2 chiefs, Yana Muhammadu Abdullahi and Yana Yakubu Andani, between 14 December 2018 and 18 January 2019. After that, a new Yana will be enskinned. We'll hear from the Asante-Hene who presented the report to the president this afternoon. But first, let's take you down memory lane and recount how we got here. My colleague Elton Brobe joins me in studio. Elton, simply, how did we get here?
So, we are looking at the history that traces its roots to 1948. And I'm sure you may be aware the Dagbon conflict involves members of 2 clans, the Abudu and the Andani, both of whom are laying claim to the selection of the Yana, the king of the Dagomba people. They are also contesting the procedure for the selection of the king, as well as the institution or persons whose responsibility is to do the selection. The conflict between the 2 clans can be traced back to 1948, following the death of Yana Muhammad II from Andani clan. His son, who subsequently became the regent, failed in his bid to succeed his deceased father as the king of Dagbon. Yana Muhammad III from the Abudu clan was instead installed as king. In accordance with the principle of rotation, after the death of Muhammad III, the next king should have been chosen from the Andani clans, since the deceased king was from the Abudu clan. Instead, another member of Abudu clan, Abdullah III, was selected to be the Yana in March 1954. So this is how it started.
It dates back.
Now let's fast track to 2002, where conflicts claimed the life of the then Yana and the Yakubu Andani II. We are talking about 3 days of fighting between supporters of both factions, which resulted in the death of the Yana.
And he was not alone with some others.
30 of the supporters, as well as the destruction of 36 houses at the Yendi in the northern region. Following public outcry, the government then accepted the resignation of the Minister for the Interior at the time, the National Security Advisor, as well as the Northern Regional Minister, Prince Imuru Andani. Now, in April 2002, President Akufo-Addo constituted a commission of inquiry headed by Justice I.K. Uwaku, the late, to investigate the disturbances of March 25th to 27th, identify the perpetrators, and make appropriate recommendations to the President. The Uwaku Commission, after months of sitting, concluded that the 2002 incident was a cumulative effect of 4 management of past phases of the Dagbon dispute, but concluded that what happened was a war between 2 feuding factions, and that resulted in the death of the
And that committee was set up by President John Agyekum Kufuor.
Yes, President John Agyekum Kufuor. The commission found several lapses within the security apparatus that resulted in the death of Yana Yakubu Andani II and recommended the prosecution of several individuals involved in the violence, including the Northern Regional Minister. Then government accepted part and rejected some.
Okay.
And then in December 2002, President Kufuor his government preferred charges against 15 persons cited by the commission for aiding in the killing of Yana. Two prominent individuals, Idana Sugri and Yamfo. These individuals, according to eyewitnesses that appeared before the commission, said that they saw them with the severed head of the Yana and some body parts, roaming the streets of Yendi. So based on this, testimony, these people were identified as culprits in the murder of the Yana, and they were subsequently put before courts. Unfortunately, not enough evidence was established against them, so the court had to let them go free. The 15 others were also put before court, also had their day in court and had their freedom because there was not enough evidence to prosecute them. And this actually created a lot of uproar in the northern region and the question was, so who killed the Yana? Subsequent to the government decided to now bring in the three eminent chiefs led by their Central Otumfuo to the second, and then the Yagbonura and then the other chief to look into this particular matter and they chart a way forward to resolve this issue permanently. It's been 12 years. Yes. And today they presented their report.
And you were there today when the report was being presented by the Otumfuo to the second to President Akufo-Addo. What were the recommendations that the Otumfuo committee proffered?
So two issues. The organization of the funeral for the late Mahamadi Yakubu and then Yana Yakubu Andani II. The Otumfuo committee recommendation to government is that the funeral for the late Yana Yakubu, Mahamadu Yakubu, should be held between the 14th to the 28th of December. There should be a 1 week lap between the 14th to the 19th of January. There should be another funeral for Yana Yakubu Andani II. And then after that, four eminent chiefs in the Dagbon traditional area will go into seclusion, and their job is to invoke the necessary oracles to select the next Yana to be unskinned within a period of 4 days. We can listen to the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei II outline the recommendations.
This committee took a decision and said that the funeral of Na Yakubu and Na Muhammadu Abdullahi should be performed from the 14th of December to the 28th of December this year. They have a 1 week respite, and the next will be from the 4th to the 4th to the 19th or 18th of January. Then the Andanis would also perform. On that very day, the last day, the Friday, there are 4 recognized elders who have to sit in seclusion, and then they would have to do their oracles to choose a new Yana. And that starts from the very Friday that the funeral of Na Yakubu Andani finishes. So we hopefully believe so that after the 18th, the oracles will start, and God willing, within the few days, we shall have a new Yana. And that's what I've come to present to you. There are various issues that is not to affect this one, but I still would have to engage my sons again in terms of modalities for the funeral. I still have to engage the Kugana because I wanted to let him know that he should act as a father to both sides. And therefore, he also benefited from the regent's position because it was the regent who appointed him as Kugana. And therefore, he's also benefited from this committee. And so if he takes any intransigence position, I'm afraid the committee would have to deal with that. And therefore, I need to assure you that this committee is presenting this to you, but we haven't finished till we get a new Yana. And so we shall still engage them, the processes for the new Yana, till we get a new Yana. And hopefully, we'll come back here to present the new Yana to you, Mr. President. We want to thank you because we started from President Kufuor, and then we went through late Professor Mills, and then we went through President Mahama, and then now you sit in the chair, and I stand before you here to present Gabon as we've gone to, where we have reached now. And therefore, maybe you are the luckiest president. Because but let me put it on record that at no time has any president or party or political party brought any influence at all on this committee. None of them. You have not brought any pressure on us to resolve this. President Kufuor didn't do that. President Mills didn't do that. And I wouldn't allow, sure, they know I would never allow anyone to bring pressure on me to settle issues on.
So you have the Otumfuo say to the second Elton. Let's also invite Dr. Vladimir Antwi-Danso. So he's joined us on the line as well. But before we speak to you, Dr. Vladimir Antwi-Danso, and also thank you very much for your time here on Top Story. But we'll come to you shortly. But interestingly, missing at today's program was the regent of Dagbon and the Bolilana, I should say. Why were they not there, knowing their importance to this peace process?
So these individuals, the Bolilana, traditionally is the leader of the Abudu clan. The current regent of Dagbon, the Kungayana, is by his position like the overlord of Dagbon, but you can say in the temporal, phase. So these individuals lead their two gates. Unfortunately, they were not around. The reason we are told, according to the Northern Regional Minister, was the fact that they were sick.
They were sick.
We can listen to the Asante Hene put the question to the Northern Regional Minister about the whereabouts of these two individuals.
Are the representatives of Kugana here? Because I asked for them to come. Prime Minister, you didn't get them? Or they refused to come? They said they are sick. All right. And he said he was sick, so he was not coming. Okay. Because after this, we will have to take very serious decisions on those people. Because I cannot countenance anyone holding Dagbon to ransom or this country to ransom because of their personal issues. Dagbon is at peace. All the elders here are here, they are here. And those are the elders who matter in Dagbon. The regent was not envisaged to be a Yana. He was supposed to be a regent of Dagbon for a period, so that the processes for the funeral of Na Muhammadu and Na Yakubu could go on, and then we have a Yana. And then for him to have taken that position and entrenched, because this committee invited him a couple of times to come to meet us, so that we could discuss his concerns. And that we could factor that into our decisions that we could do. The issue about their father having died, yes, we all are very sorry about that. I don't think we wish that for anybody. But that is a criminal aspect if that is so. But then to hold that to ransom so that Dagbon cannot carry on, I would die and Asantuma will continue. And therefore, I cannot see why my brother had died. If there's any evidence at all that I've told them all, if anybody has evidence to the effect who killed Diana, I've asked that they should present the report to us. We would tell the president, the security agencies would investigate and prosecute. We've gone through that with the WACO Commission and all that. And so I still said to them that it's open for them to come. And so we've gone through all that. He got a lawyer to come to see me, the Kampu Kuyana, about issues in court. I said to them that is not binding on us. But yet I'll bear with them. Got the lawyer to come. I said, what is the issue? The issue was that the Abudus have taken them to court and got a judgment to the fact that the Kampu Kuyana has to initiate the funeral, and he was contesting that. I said, fine. Get the Kampu Kuyana to come, and then we listen to the concerns. We factor that in the settlement. Severally, the lawyer came to see us, and then it got to a point where the lawyer also was not even responding to calls from my office. And the Kampu Kuyana too, forgotten that it is the same committee that appointed him that made him the regent of Dagbon. You cannot benefit from the committee's decisions and still refuse not to appear before the committee. That cannot be allowed, Mr. President. And therefore, the committee then came to the decision after 12 years of deliberations. I have a relation with Dagbon from Nagarba, and they know that he married an Asante princess, and then that is how come they are my children. And therefore, they know that I seek to benefit from peace in Dagbon, not supporting any one family, because they are all my children.
So you have the Asante Hene Otumfuo say to quite some strong words there because of the absence of the Kugana and the Bolilana, we're told. But let's bring in Dr. Vladimir Antwi-Danso now. He's a security analyst and also the director of academic at the Ghana Armed Forces Command and Staff College. Thank you very much for your time here on Top Story, and thanks so much for your patience as well. So looks like redemption is on the horizon. Is that what you see?
Well, somehow, yes. But we need to say hooray with caution. Conflicts become intractable And when you are resolving intractable conflicts, you must think of residual matters, just like the Otumfuo made it clear. There are several residual matters. In the first place, the absence of the Bolin Lana and parts of the Andani family there is indicative of the very fact that things are not all that very much resolved. We always believe in conflict transformation. We also believe that when you are resolving such conflicts, you don't talk to only one side. One side meaning the top echelon. I think Otumfuo and his group have done very well, but it looks as though the top echelon of the pyramid have agreed, but the foot soldiers and those who are benefiting actually from the status quo have not been well made to understand the issues. And that is why we're seeing this. Some people will always benefit from such a conflict. And I believe that the status quo benefits some group of people who just didn't want to be part of the making of the resolution.
Well, so you stated that talking to both sides is very important in resolving such intractable conflicts. But just when both sides have been engaged, at least from what we're hearing, just when we thought that the end was in sight, then we're hearing one side saying that we will not go ahead with this. We think that we are not satisfied with where we've come up until now. How does it then happen? How then do we get to the end at the end of it all?
That is exactly what I was talking about. We talked to the top echelon. So those who are not even present, I should tell you that, yes, they agreed. But those who are supporting them, those who are benefiting from the conflict, the intractability of the conflict, were not part of the making of the process. They should have been making, in conflict analysis, you see that you use the pyramid to analyze the conflict. We talked to the Andanis, we talked to the Abudus, the top echelon. They've seen the need to come together. They've seen the need to accept the process towards achievement of a new Yana. They've all agreed on the process, which Otumfuo outlined. But those who were propping the conflict from the bottom of the pyramid, remember every pyramid stands firm from the bottom. And those persons who are benefiting from the conflict are those who are telling their elders, no, we don't support you. And I'm saying we have not been able to get them as part of the making of the process.
But these key persons, at least you heard the Asantehene Otumfuo say to the second and mention that at least the Kugana, these two persons are leaders of their gates. And if at the end of it all they are presenting a recommendation, for instance, and they are not there to accept it, what then will be the way forward?
The way forward is to continue talking. In conflict, there's no conflict that has ended abruptly and there are no residual issues. And within the period that the residual issues are being effected, what you do is to transform the conflict, change the face of the conflict. That by the next generation, you don't have anybody wanting to be in a conflict again. That's the only thing we're left out. Let's keep on joy-joying. I mean, the point is that they didn't come. But then let us not leave them aside. Let's keep on talking.
But Doc, after how many years? 12 years and counting. Anytime it seems like we are coming close to a lasting solution, it backfires. Will we ever get to the end? Because it looks like we've been joy-joying all these years. But
unfortunately, that's the nature of conflict. That's why we have a thing called intractability. Let me tell you, the Kosovo crisis started in 1389. Can you imagine? So ours is a very young conflict. That one conflict predates Kwame Nkrumah anyway. But then it will not just go away just like that. I think we have come a long way. What Otumfuo has done is very, very commendable. What needs to be done is to continue the process again. Because now that everything has come out, that they have agreed already, they are in the bad light. So it's a matter of now finding those who profit from the conflict and be able to either talk to them or take measures that will make them no more interested in the conflict. Conflict is removed through transformation. So when we are able to transform the conflict, and we are able to let the persons who profit from the conflict we are able to make it non-profitable anymore, we'll get there. So right now, yes, we'll be sad that they're still prolonging things. But then, let me tell you that there are a lot of people profiting. Those who sell arms, they are profiting. Those who believe that the Yana regent must continue so that they profit from it are there. Politicians who want to make it part of their game, they are there. There are a whole lot of people who are interested in this conflict prolonging. So I'm saying, let us not rest on our oars that we have gotten the documents now. Let us go ahead by talking still about the conflict. Conflicts don't go away just by that.
But these beneficiaries of this particular conflict, a number of them you've outlined, will they ever be ready to give up the goodies that it comes with?
They will be ready when you remove the profitability away. When you have removed those things that make the conflict profitable, they will be away. Let me give you just a weird example, but at least we have always suggested this. Supposing the Dagbon area has been transformed into an industrial hub, where the people of Dagbon go to work, and they don't think about chieftaincy. Supposing there are schools, hospitals, roads, network, and whatnot. Supposing the northern region has been turned into a metropolis, where people are thinking about life generally. That's a long way anyway. But if we get there, who will be interested? The profit is completely gone. And I think that's why President Kufuor started the Northern Accelerated Development, whatever, which was turned into SADA, so that people will be more profitably engaged and forget about conflict in the northern region generally. So whilst we are at this right now and we have reached a certain point, let us be thinking about transforming the conflict into something else, transforming the north into something else. And then people's conflict will not be Anthony Abudu anymore. It may be industrial conflict, it may be football conflict, it may be, and I think that is the reason why President Kufuor put the stadium over there. It's a gradual process. So let us not say hooray now. Let us not think that the conflict is gone and gone forever. It will take a long time. As I gave you an example, Kosovo started in 1389. Who is alive? And the conflict is still there.
Indeed, it would take a long time, but should we perhaps start counting how much it is costing us as a state, apart from the lives that have been lost in actually resolving this conflict?
Sure. Every conflict has a toll. And the toll is in economic terms, in human terms, in infrastructural terms, and everything. And that is why the transformation is very, very much indeed needed. Every conflict, when it's not transformed, that's why Europe is trying to transform Kosovo into a completely new country and whatnot, is having problems. But there's more peace now. The transformation that is going on in Kosovo is making it possible for Kosovo to be Kosovo. If we don't do this transformation, look, it will recur and recur and recur. All conflicts in Ghana, and there are about 74 hotspots in Ghana. If we don't transform these conflicts, I tell you, even politicians benefit from such conflicts. So we need to. Let us not say that this is the end. Otumfuo has done very well, and he promised that he was not going to relent until we get a new Yana. And I'm with him on those calls.
So there have been some gains that have been made, at least admittedly. How are we hoping to build on these gains made so far?
We need to always consolidate the slightest gain in conflict resolution. If you relapse or relax, you go back to the status quo. And that is why what Otumfuo said makes me very happy. The point is this, that it is both using the carrot and the cane. Those are the recalcitrant ones. Let's find a way of naming and shaming and punishing them. And those who are part of the making of the conflict, making of the resolution, let us encourage them. This one we call forced field analysis. There are forces that want to push the thing to the limit to have it resolved. And there are forces against this. We have to note them, encourage them, motivate them to be able to resolve the conflict. We have to do this. We don't have to abandon this kind of movement.
One other key area, Doc, is also the role of the media in all this, because most of the time you report one side, the other side comes with something else. You report the other side, they also come with something else. How really are you hoping that the media can contribute to this roadmap to peace?
Certainly, the media has not been very active where conflicts in Ghana are concerned. Either they report the thing as it is, or there are some, judgmental kind of issues, or at times you see political issues coming in. The media must learn what we mean by conflict reporting, conflict analysis. When we are doing conflict teaching and that sort of thing, we intentionally at times bring in the media to understand how conflict reporting must be made. So I am begging of the media now to understand conflict, that they are endemic in society. There's no way you can take conflict away. Every society goes through a certain continuum where conflict is concerned. And I believe that if the media understands such a situation, then their reporting will make it possible as part of the resolution. So I'm expecting Ghanaian journalists now and the media generally to be able to understand Dagbon and not stoke the fires, and rather be able to be part of the resolution of the conflict.
Now, really, finally, the dates have been set, 14 December and 18 January, for the burials of Yana Mahamadou Abdullahi and Yana Yakubu Andani. It's the funeral, of course, I should say. So we've heard the president say that he's hoping to stay neutral. But on the ground, actually, as we prepare for these funerals, how are we hoping to ensure political neutrality and also in terms of ensuring security?
The government, as a matter of course, should be able to offer the necessary security atmosphere for this roadmap. I'm very happy that both sides accepted this before some factions are trying to, and the nation seems to applaud what we're seeing. So offering security for the funerals of both Yanas would be a stage forward. Secondly, I'm happy that the palace would be vacated, which is part of the tradition of Dagbon, which I think the Supreme Court didn't take into consideration when it ruled in the previous ruling. And so once the cultural aspect is going to take place and the palace is only vacated, getting a new Yana is not going to be a difficulty. And I think, again, the security forces must ensure that there is peace or there is security. Finally, I think the political platform or the political kind of horizon is not good at all. You know, underneath the Dagbon crisis is serious politics, where the Abudus feel that they are MPP and the Andanis feel that they are NDC. In most of these conflicts, that's what we're saying. Can we therefore plead with the politicians that it bodes well for them, for Ghana, for the Dagbon kingdom, that there is peace, so that here there shouldn't be any kind of politicking again, because nobody came from that apart from election.
We're very grateful for your time, Dr. Vladimir Antwi-Danso. He's the director of Akademika, the Ghana Armed Forces Command and Staff College, and also a security analyst. Elton, let's wrap up with this. Apart from the Otumfuo Setu II presenting that report also, the president was also reacting. What's really government's position on the recommendations of the eminent chiefs?
Well, government says that it will remain neutral in the organization of the funeral and the selection of the new Yana, but they will provide all the financial and logistical, that will come with the organization of the funeral, and the government will continue to maintain security in the area. Just for the fact that the country has spent so much money in maintaining the peace in the area. We can listen to President Akufo-Addo after receiving the report from the eminent chiefs.
I was given the mandate as president to fix a broken country, both its economy and its society. I'm determined in my efforts to do just that. That notwithstanding, the Dagbon people must themselves also be willing to give peace a chance. And it is attainable, in my view, if there is a will and a readiness to compromise. I would appeal from the bottom of my heart to the Kampakuyana and the Bulinlana, the sons and regents of Na Yakubu Andani and Na Mahamadou Abdullahi, respectively, young men with bright, promising futures before them, to rise above the passions that have fueled the disputes that have marred Dagbon, and as an expression of their love for their people, help in the effective implementation of this roadmap to bring lasting peace to Dagbon, and lay the basis for its rapid development. The overwhelming majority of the people of Dagbon, especially the youth, are tired of this age-old conflict and just want the opportunity to enhance their lives in normalcy and security. Government will give the requisite financial, material, moral, physical, and security forces necessary for the sustenance of the peace process that has been embarked on today. I am not a Dagomba, and I therefore cannot be an Andani or Abudu. I have no candidate for the office of Yana. That is a matter for the people of Dagbon. I am just an ordinary Ghanaian who wants to see the peace, progress, and prosperity of all parts of our beautiful country without any discrimination.
You heard the President Akufo-Addo there today whilst receiving that report from Otumfuo Setu II and his committee. That's it for Top Story, brought to you by Bond Savings and Loans. Your success, our passion. Gassam Cement, the nation builder. Vodafone, the future is exciting. Ready? And Nationwide Medical Health Insurance, your healthcare family. Newsnight starts now.